Hey guys, welcome back to LOI Fan TV, and we've listened to the crowd. Everyone's been demanding it. It's been the talk on the street. Apparently, some people's Christmases are ruined without it. So we're back, new year, new episode. The transfer show is back, episode six, and my God, we have news for you today. But we're first of all, Ross, how are you keeping?
Very well, Luke. Very well. I'm excited to get back in amongst it now. Obviously, we kind of had a little bit of a break over the kind of Christmas period, and just took a couple of weeks out. And I missed the show. Now there wasn't a huge amount going on, but I think it's all kind of stacked up over the couple of weeks we've been gone. So like a bumper episode to get through in this show. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. And for the bumper episode, I think we got to set a bumper likes target too. 100 likes, let's do it.
Let's do it.
And we're still a bit off the 4K subscriber mark as well, lads. As I said, we got to hit that soon. It ruined my Christmas. I don't know
Remember
about you,
Christmas.
Ross, but
Yeah, big time, big
I
time.
was
I
watching
was
it,
enjoying it,
watching
like.
it like the clock, and it wasn't moving.
Yeah. So why not a New Year's resolution instead of a Christmas present? A New Year's resolution: subscribe to
Yeah,
the channel.
yeah, has to be done for your sins.
And guys, actually, if you didn't check out part one of our LOI quiz of the year 2025, make sure to do so. It's up on the channel now. Part two will be dropping very, very soon in a couple of days' time. So make sure to subscribe to stay tuned for that. But yeah, we had a good fun filming that video. So it's with Irish Footy Vlogs and Seb from LOI Ball. So make sure to go check that out as well.
But yeah, first of all, I think Ross got a kick start as we always do with a few fan comments. So Ross, go on.
Absolutely, and as we always say, guys, make sure to get involved on Spotify, on YouTube, in the comments. We'll be reading them out every week, so you may as well get amongst it. So we'll jump into Spotify first, and Adam Orr said, "Loving the business from Waterford at the moment. Proper Premier Division proven players in all the areas we need." And yeah, we'll get into obviously Waterford in more detail when we get to them. But yeah, like some kind of surprising signings and some really, really good ones as well.
Yeah, yeah, we could probably nail them on to kind of being in that ninth or tenth spot this season. Based off the end of last season, the players they lost, but they're really adding well and they're still going. So yeah, they're doing really good.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think they'll be in ninth or tenth in our predictions anymore, to be honest.
No.
Liam Moore on Spotify also said Dean O'Shea, captain of Longford, has gone to Bray. So obviously Longford kind of, I think they lost centre half to Athlone at the start of the window as well. So obviously they finished the season well, Longford, but they're kind of getting a little bit ransacked, which is a shame to see. But Bray obviously building a decent side there.
Yeah, well, look, obviously Maxon Murphy went to Wexford, which was a huge coup for them,
Yeah.
and probably a big loss for Bray as well. But yeah, I saw the sign Osagi. He was kind of on loan at UCD last season from Bohs. He's a good
Oh,
player. So yeah, Bray are kind of doing a bit of their own rebuild. I saw their League One, League Two teams are looking at Justin. So it'd be hard to keep him in that regard. But yeah, look, still Bray have loads of good players, and yeah, I think it'd be the playoffs again for them because obviously Cork are proper Premier Division outfit, aren't they?
100%. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Move over to our YouTube comments then. Good few here to get through. PJ Venom said, great video, fair play. I'm going to head to the Bohs Pats game in the Aviva, even at the risk of grim flashbacks to their two relatively recent FAI Cup finals. Bohs always very jersey savvy. Interesting to see how much we'll miss Clark and what impact he'll have at Derry next season. Have a good week, lads, and stay safe. A couple of things to break down there. Obviously, the Pats Bohs game in the Aviva. Obviously, Pats have a decent record there against Bohs. So that's going to be a kind of a interesting one. I'll be interested to see what the tickets are like for that one as well. I don't think it's as selling as well as the Bohs Rovers game last season. It doesn't seem like not so much hype around.
No, yeah, hype's kind of faded a little bit. Obviously, second year on the bounce doing it, so we'll see. Probably what's your guess? I say I don't. Before I was like it'd be in the 20,000s. I don't even know if it'll hit that now. I think it'd be in the high teens, like maybe
Yeah,
16, 17, maybe. I don't know.
might hit 20. Might hit 20 maybe.
Yeah, I hope. To be honest, I hope it does, but it's just
Yeah.
yeah, it's gone a bit quiet.
You say I don't. It's at the risk of sounding like a fool because I think some people said last year Rovers Bows would be a nightmare, blah, 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 and they got what 30 odd, wasn't it, in the end? So, I just thought
Yeah,
I remember I said a couple of weeks ago like Bows couldn't have picked a worse dance partner for this in terms of
yeah.
like I think Shells and Rovers. If you're looking at Dublin sides to play, have more momentum behind them and more of a kind of positive, feel good kind of story around them at the minute. Then Pats kind of feels a bit like another season
Even
here.
as a neutral, like you're not even
Yeah.
saying Rovers be involved, but I'd much rather go and see Shell's bows and I'd rather see Pat's bows. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's obviously the jersey would be interesting. I think it's selling out very, very well, the kneecap jersey. And obviously Clark at Derry, we touched on before being an outrageously good signing. James Corrigan said, great video, lads. What do you think of Bowes youngster Jake Howe? And Dundalk. I always worry with these young players if it's like one of those where they're trying to like bait you into saying something. And Dundalk youngster Aidan Russell being transfer targets to Longford. I think it is a legit comment. I'm not really too aware of those two young lads, but I think if Longford can get a couple of loans in Premier Division, it's a good step for them. It's the right move, probably.
Yeah, they're going probably outside jail for playoffs for Longford, but yeah, just like kind of what Bray did, kind of sign a load of youngsters from the bigger teams in Dublin, and hope that gets them over the line, top
Yeah.
five.
Yeah, no, 100%. Killian O'Dwyer, don't think Shelbourne has been announced yet, but apparently he's training with us, so must be close. That's Axel Sjoberg. That has been completed, hasn't it? I think. I don't know what actual training.
No, it hasn't. It's gone a bit quiet.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know what's actually going on with him, so that'd be interesting to see. I actually haven't seen much with him. Not sure who he actually supports. So, uh, someone else says Frank side bottom says John O'Sullivan is coming to Galway. Obviously, has nothing's been confirmed in that regard, but that seems like a kind of a realistic prospect for John O'Sullivan, doesn't it? I think maybe.
Maybe it's gone a bit quiet in that front as well.
Yeah, be
Yeah, I wonder.
interesting.
I wonder.
Yeah, be
Yeah,
interesting.
I could see it, but then you never know. I could see him with like a Bray as well. To be fair, like I see him taking a step down and being a senior player at the
Yeah,
first division side.
yeah, I could see that might be the best thing for him. Maybe just play week in week out and get back to playing
Yeah,
at his best.
yeah.
The GTS 111 says shame the way it ended with John. Need both sides of the story, but at the end of the day, the club kept him on, paid him his salary and his European bonus. Other clubs have done much worse with players. That's obviously in
No,
reference
that's
to
it.
Sullivan.
Yeah, no, no, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, obviously, I think there was a Shells. I think reached out to LOI Central after the John Sullivan pod went live and kind of explained their side of the story, or whatever. So I think it kind of died down after that, and it didn't get too much messier after that. So I think that one was kind of just one that was put to bed a little bit. Um, Lou P5357, Ronan Finn to put a sports management masters to use by replacing Stephen MacPhail as director of football at Rovers. Thoughts on that one?
I could see it. I could see it 100%. Yeah, it makes sense. Bradley kind of talks about it, interesting enough with McFade. He kind of talks about it in like a Stevens on a break now. So it kind of sounds a bit like, he could be back
Did he not
in
go?
maybe
Did
a
he not
year or
get a
something.
job in the League of Ireland or something, or like FAI or something, wasn't it? No,
No, no,
that's
no.
someone else maybe. Obviously, John Martin was.
I, Yeah, no, 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 no. Steve McPhail just took a step back after 10 years at Rovers. But yeah, I just saw a literally quote from Bradley there earlier on to be talking about how, like, we'll get into a later video of Sean Kavanagh moving into the coaching staff, but just saying how he's filling the void of Stevens and Stevens taking the break.
Yeah.
So, obviously the word break there is interesting.
Interesting use of words, yeah. Because I remember
Yeah.
when Bradley was linked with Lincoln, I think Steve McPhail was going to go with him. Like it wasn't like he
Yeah,
was like, tied to Rovers. It's more of a Bradley relationship type situation. Like
100%. Yeah, I think we could see him again. Kind of similar to our fitness coach, Darren Dillon, took a break and now he's back. So I could see the same for Steve McPhail.
yeah, fair, fair. But Ron Finn, I think that'd be a good one to get on the
That would be good. And to be
board.
fair, like if we're
Yeah,
gonna expand and become more established, you probably need a Finn and a McPhail. So yeah, definitely.
yeah, absolutely. I think Ron Finn. We might have one more year after UCD. I think he was talking about that before, so it'd be interesting to see what he does.
Yeah.
He might give it another crack for another year. Um, Adam D says, no clue how true these are, but there are some talk in the week of Axel Shelbourne coming to Derry and heard talk of Gavin Malloy as well as Oran Casey from Cliftonville, apparently for a six-figure fee. So a couple of rumours of defenders to Derry there. Obviously, none of them have. How long was that? That was 2 weeks ago. None of those have kind of transpired
Warren,
since.
Warren Casey's got a bit quiet, yeah, but I think he could make a move to Derry later this month. You never know.
Yeah, we'll get onto him. But Gavin Malloy, I can't see come back to the League of Ireland. And if he was, I'd like to think he'd come back to Shells, to be honest, or Rovers even.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't even nail him down to Shells. To be
Yeah.
fair, he's been in and out with that Aberdeen side. They only signed him for whatever 50 grand or whatever 60
Yeah.
grand. So it wouldn't be much of a loss if Aberdeen were to. Like they just sacked their manager last week, so they could get a new manager and they won't fancy him. But you never know. They get a new manager and he could be back in the team. So yeah, I don't think it's one that we'll see this window. Maybe in the summer.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Ryan P4 says Lamboto to Galway is a done deal. Apparently, that has come true. Of
Yeah.
course, he was at the club before and was absolutely useless and shows a lack of ambition for the club. He said also rumours of Sean Maguire to Galway look the real deal. Apparently, a half-season loan as Cork cannot afford Keating and Maguire's wages. They're both considered. They're both considering their futures according to reports. I can't see Sean Maguire. Well, apparently, we'll get onto him properly, but I can't see him
Yeah,
going to
we'll
Galway.
get on to him. But I can't see Galway happening.
Yeah, no, I don't see that at all. Yeah, Lamboto is obviously a done deal now.
Yeah.
Another comment about Lamboto from Sam Ferry 2281. He says
Yeah.
Lomboto hasn't done much of a job up north and can't see him doing much in the Premier Division. Uninspiring to say the least. Had heard a rumour of Sean Maguire being mentioned in a move to Galway United, but not holding out much hope on that one. So that seems like a more kind of realistic comment. And I suppose there is the John
Yeah.
Caulfield factor, I guess, if there's a relationship there, and it's probably not a million miles from his house in Cork, I suppose. So possibly it's one that could be looked at, but yeah, I just can't see him at Galway at all.
No, I can't see it. I just can't. I'd rather. I actually see him staying at Cork over going to Galway. To be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the final comment is from Lou P, and it's a bit of a dig at you actually. Funny enough, he says Celje's second string already qualified, so it was a nothing match against Shelbourne versus the key second fixture game against Rovers. Come on, Luke, you should have these comebacks ready to go.
It just gets to the point with him where you don't feed into him anymore. It's like when the dog's bark and you're like, no, put the dog in the back. You've already given him treats. He's still barking. Put him in the back.
To be
Same
fair,
logic applies.
to be fair, the only player that I knew of that I know is a starter, and the only player I know who plays for him is your man Kovacevic, and he started against Shell. So as far as I was aware, it was the first string side. Like
Yeah, yeah. Nah, sure. Look, it's
you weren't
done
you
now.
weren't gonna, you
It's
weren't going
done.
to be digging out the Selji's start.
I'm also going to start whipping out like pick me battles. If you want a double, I'll stick to that.
That's it. That's it. So were you saying do you want to go back to front this week?
Go back to front. Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? Mix it up.
Cool. So, Waterford have been busy. Obviously, we touched on a couple of bits with them before, but obviously, I think McMullen has come back. We might be going over some old ground here, potentially touch on
Yeah.
other videos, but bear with us. McMullen, I think that's a new one. He obviously signed, and they signed that keeper from Derry, Arlo Doherty. So obviously, have the kind of keepers sorted for next season, and that's a good one to get in. John Mahon coming in from Sligo, I think
Solid.
that's a good pickup. League of Ireland experience, good player. Evan McLaughlin, very, very impressed with that sign, to be fair.
Very impressed.
I thought he was kind of, I could have
Got
seen
a
that
dairy or something.
in there, Pats or Derry. I think Derry was where he was being strongly linked to, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Mad, mad. Some signing, and yeah, him and Conan in the same team, and Pod Jammond up top. This Pod just needs to stand the 6 yard line at this point. Let those lads put the ball to him. So fair play.
yeah, Conor Noonan, Evan McLaughlin, in behind, and then you've obviously Conor Carty. I think Tommy Lonergan's still there as well. So you've options if Paul just obviously aging a little bit, so you can rotate him
Mm,
and pick him for certain
mm.
games. Maybe Conor Carty could be better against the bigger teams, maybe to do a bit of running around and stuff like that. So good options. They also brought in Canadian midfielder Jordan Faraya, who obviously we're not
Saw that.
really aware
This
of.
Valor, this Valor, the chairman of Valor is gonna get the boat to Ireland. He's gonna be like, right, where are me players?
Because I think someone told me that they went bust or something, didn't they? I think or
Yeah,
something, wasn't it? So yeah, they're obviously loads of free agents or something like.
yeah, yeah. They're all here. They're
Yeah,
all.
they're all yeah, all in Ireland, yeah. Funny enough. So McMullen and Mahan are two solid ones as well, aren't they?
Two solid ones, yeah, yeah. Mahon is a great player in his day. Obviously, came back from Scotland. I think he was in. Kind of had a bad injury and then didn't really kind of get back into slot. I don't know if he had a falling out with
St. Johnson,
Russell.
wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, St. Johnson. Yeah, so look, he's a great pedigree. Yeah, solid one. Probably, obviously John Daly was in Scotland as well, so maybe build up a bit of a rapport with him. Evan McLaughlin, solid. We said Jordan Farrier, yeah. And there's a few other players on trial. I don't know if you saw. Former Liverpool and England under 19 international Lee Jones, I think he's a defender. He's on trial with them. Interesting. Yeah, another player, Jurgen Velez.
I
I
saw
can't
that.
pronounce that correctly. From the Swedish second tier. So a few like kind of random ones, so to say. But then another one I saw that was linked is actually very good. Charlie Lyons from Cork.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah.
Solid player, like. And I think he'd probably be looking for a Premier Division move. So yeah, then that's what I heard from Waterford.
Yeah, Waterford are tipping away nicely, and they've brought in a couple of
Solid.
really solid players. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna have to kind of rethink that. I think McLaughlin and Noonan like linking up would be really exciting. Um,
Yeah.
so like that's yeah, it's a really
They're like the dark horse the
a
next
little
season, aren't
bit,
they? Like,
yeah, yeah. I got a con job out of them last season 'cause I put them fifth. So in my predictions for the D table, they let me down big time. So I don't trust them
yeah,
overly because it's like whatever. But yeah, they're backing John Daly big time. To be fair, I think the fans will be happy because they've definitely changed the model. They're kind of they've also got a couple of loans in and bits and pieces, McMullen and stuff. But
yeah,
they're kind of going for more League of Ireland experienced players. That's what the fans
yeah.
wanted, and that's the route to a successful season, really.
Definitely. Yeah, no, it's looking good, and yeah, they're motoring along well. So yeah, fair play to them.
We'll move on then to St. Patrick's Athletic. And as far as I know, they only made one signing, and it was only 20 minutes ago I was recording this. Not sure if you saw it went through, but they've brought in Darragh Nugent, obviously in a kind of a swap deal with Jake Mulroney. And the Mulroney
Yeah,
one's one we've touched on before. And I think I said, I can see him at Rovers. And you said,
yeah,
obviously, last one maybe that I think after one of the games you were at, that it was nearly a done deal. Went quiet
yeah.
over Christmas. I think Dan McDonald put out something saying there was no updates on Mulroney, bits and pieces like that. So one that kind of this week jumped forward again. They're probably trying to nail down the terms of the deal. Obviously, that's saw Darren Nugent going to Inchicore.
Yeah, it's like swapping, doing a swap deal, and one person gets the goldfish and the other one gets the car. You know, I
This is
think
this.
Pats have got the goldfish here, to be honest.
This is where I actually really want to pick your brain on this because I
Yeah.
last season Darren Nugent was a very important player for Shamrock Rovers that time. I felt like because so in the big games he played over some big players.
I've always said this on the channel. Darren Nugent is great when you play these big teams in Europe because he'll run his socks off, he'll put his body where some people won't. He put his head where some people won't put their feet,
Yeah,
and he'll just put shift in. But the problem with Darren Nugent was technically he was nowhere near the players around him, in my opinion. So when I heard there was rumors a few weeks ago that apparently he wanted out, he wanted to play regular football, and I was thinking, yo, I could see him in Drogheda, I could see him up there throwing his body around,
perfect
he'd
signing.
be a
Yeah,
great player for Drogheda, But then I saw Pats, I was like, Pats? I was like, they're arguably even more possession based than Rover. It doesn't make
yeah.
sense. So I was like, make it make sense. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
think I
yeah,
think it actually does make a bit of sense though because
I think so.
when I watched Pats last season, they you could cut through their midfield so easily, and I
Yeah.
think they need a couple of this type of profile of player, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like they
Fair.
they have the Levys, they have the Kavanaghs, they have the Foresters. You obviously had
But
more.
my question to you is, who is he replacing in that starting team? Are you going to drop Forrester for him? Are you going to drop?
I think
Sorry.
there's certain games where Pats I think will go with Nugent and Lennon as a pivot and maybe Forrester in the 10 sorry Kavanagh's gone of course, or what am I even saying, but
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
situation, Levy in the 10,
Or-
Forrester in the 10.
Yeah.
I think he gives them a great option in there, and I think I think they needed a bit of bite in midfield, and someone that will work hard and not do all the pretty work because you look at, I know it's a really high level example, but like you look at maybe the successful Man United teams in the past, and Fergie always had like the Darren Fletchers to accommodate the Ronaldos and
Mm.
you can't have a team full of
No,
supers.
you can't.
You need a
I,
couple of these
I
types.
suppose I'm just imagining like a double pivot of Jamie Lennon and Darren Nugent, that sort of way. Like
Yeah,
it's just
not
like,
great.
it's not the best. And like obviously you have Forrester, you have Palmer, you have Barry Bagley, and it's like, do these fellas are gonna be sitting on the bench watching, you know what I mean? That's just my perspective. Obviously in Europe it makes sense. Like Darren Nugent wasn't like he was a squad player, but he did his job great. And I just imagine since he was leaving Rovers to get his game, that he'd go to a team where he'd be playing week in, week out and he'd be a mainstay. I just can't see him being a mainstay at Pats personally.
Fair, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I don't really know what Palmer's situation. He's obviously injured for all the last season, so
yeah.
he'd want to get back in. I could see him taking Lennon's spot on the team potentially, to be honest.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. It's just a ball playing six. I can't really see him as he's kind of just like the box to box. But like, look, I wish him well. And to be fair, like he was a great servant for Rovers. Always put a shift in. Never doubt his commitment. But yeah, I think it's a good move for us anyway.
Yeah, I think we'll touch on the Mulroney one more when we get to
Yeah.
Rovers. Um, one last thing on Pats for me is on Val Adidokin, obviously one that we've the Brentford fullback, former relationship with Kenny, I think under 21s. Obviously we talked about it a couple of times in the channel before on the transfer shows, and I think Dan McDonald said a couple of weeks ago that apparently he's unsure about coming home. So it'd be interesting if he might stay in England and get a loan to League One or League Two or something. So that's one to keep an eye on. But yeah, apparently he's not convinced on the project. It seems like.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. It's still the month is still young as far as anything happen. I think it will happen. I just think probably it's a bit of back and forward at the moment. It makes sense to happen in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, fair.
Yeah,
Sligo Rovers
yeah.
then. we'll jump into them. They've brought in Liam Hughes, a goalkeeper who left Haka FC in Finland. He was on
Yeah.
trial with Derry City as well. So obviously he's coming in to compete with Sam Sargent, who's still there from last season as well. So I
Probably
think
more
that's
of a Connor Walsh replacement.
exactly,
It
exactly.
seems to be. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I suppose. Yeah. So that's quite enough from a Sligo perspective. I think we'll see. They always like to make two or three late signings. They kind of keep their toe in the water in that sense. So yeah, a bit quiet from Sligo, but he seems like a solid addition. And maybe someone. You never know. Sam Sargent has had his injury or two throughout his career.
Yeah.
Someone could get running the team. He might hold his place. So it'll be interesting.
100%, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing majorly else on Sligo. Haven't heard anything on Elding. Haven't heard anything on Fitzgerald, on Hakiki.
Yeah.
Potentially keeping hold of some of the big boys from last season, which would be great for them. Um, Jump into Shells then. Obviously, it's been picked up a little bit in terms of kind of comings and goings since the Conference League, and James Norris obviously confirmed signing. One we kind of didn't kind of necessarily see happening after he went
We
back to
roll
Ireland.
off.
So
Yeah.
brilliant, set to get him back on a permanent deal.
Unbelievable. Great signing. Unbelievable signing. Yeah, solid. A really good player, and I'm surprised he's came back because he was training with the first team. But fair play to him.
Yeah.
Fair play to him. Let's see how he gets on.
Play kind of wing back in that system. He can play left full in a back four. He can play in a back three. Really, really solid
Yeah,
player. I think he actually will improve. He's still young as well.
yeah.
Arguably like one of the best left backs in the country last season. You'd say
Oh, 100%. He'll
Walsh
start with
in that
Holland.
equation.
Yeah,
So, yeah, could easily be in that team of the year next season potentially if he has a good year.
definitely.
So, great signing. Obviously, you mentioned Connor Walsh there coming in as well. We'll touch on obviously an outgoing in the goalkeeper department in a second, but when we brought in Connor Occurrence, I thought that was going to be as a backup goalkeeper. And I'm thinking the same with Connor Walsh, but that means that we have to go and get whether it's Special Spiel back or another keeper. So at the minute, it's only Walsh is our only goalkeeper in the club. Obviously, Lorcan Healy's taking a step back from football to focus on his business, I think. So I'd imagine we're going to get a keeper and he's going to be second choice. Surely.
I'd imagine so too. I think he'll eventually be number one though. Um,
He's a good young keeper
wouldn't,
as
wouldn't
well.
be wouldn't be surprised if he's loaned in your man again from the MLS,
Spiel.
and then maybe Connor Walsh then took over. But he's a good keeper, but
Yeah.
maybe one for the future more so than today.
He's only 21, 22. I think he's still young in goalkeeper terms. Like he's a very young
Yeah,
goalkeeper. So
yeah, very young.
I think he might have
Yeah,
been in an Ireland under 21 squad at some stage, was he? I think
he
potentially.
was. Yeah, he's with the 19s as well. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
very, very
So
highly thought of. So decent signing. And obviously, if you saw the first of these kind of Jamestown analytics coming into play, of course, as well, which we kind of touched on before, we were thinking how far will Shells go in this kind of analytics type situation? And they've brought in a left field signing. It's Mael Lundgren from Sweden, was it? I think, or Norway maybe.
is
But
that your
obviously,
man from Rocky Four? Is it?
but from what I've
Oh,
heard from my sources, which don't exist, is that he's going to be the
yeah.
best player in the league next season potentially. And yeah, it's a good
Have you
sign.
heard that? Yeah, he was good in Rocky to be fair to him. So we'll see if he gets on next season. Yeah,
Yeah, he seems like a versatile player. Like he kind of can play on the wing. He can play in the 10. He can maybe it's an option a wing back. So it's going to be interesting to see what position he actually plays in. But it's an exciting one. I'm interested to see how he does because it's obviously one that no one really can really predict. Could go one of two
yeah.
ways.
I wonder how, yeah, the Jameson analytics, how it goes. I'm just wondering, is it like the case of like you go into the Ultimate Team, you're like, right, who has over 90 pace here that's a bronze that we can bring in? Like, I'm like, what's the depth and detail of this analytics? Like,
Well, it's
like,
worked with the likes of is it Brighton? I think use it
yeah,
like that.
no,
So
as I
obviously
said,
at a
I
much lower
understand how
level
it
than that.
works. Yeah, I'm just wondering when you go down the levels. I'm just wondering. Obviously, like I get it. Like you punt 5 billion on a wonder kid from Sweden, and he comes in, and he's deadly. Your Hearts, you pay 500 grand to some. You know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
think I'm wondering when you get into the nitty gritty of like paying 70 and 80 grand. How effective is it? So that's my only reservation. But he
He,
looks decent to be fair to him.
he does. He does. To be fair, he looks good. As in, like he looks like it could be a good option to have. They can fill in a few different spots. So hopefully
Mm.
he'd be a good sign and one that can kind of contribute to Shells next season. But see how that one goes. Oren Casey is another one centre half from up in Cliftonville. Touched him in the comments at the start, and
Mm.
he's I think he's a six-figure fee they're looking for. But I've heard that Shells kind of maybe stepped in front of Derry in the race for him. So obviously centre back is a priority position for Shelbourne.
Yeah.
Obviously, I haven't watched a huge amount of them, but I've heard good things. So, yeah, definitely get him in. It'd be fantastic. Bit of business.
Yeah, he's need centre halves. He needs a striker, and he probably
Yeah,
need a goal too. So Like their areas of priority right now. Probably need to get a move on as well. Like what would you say? Probably four more signings, a goalie, two centre halves, and the striker. Would you say?
It depends on what we get out the door. Obviously we'll touch on a few outgoings in a sec, but I think we've like 20-man squad. Usually people teams have like 22, so you probably need to get rid of a striker before you bring one in, I would say. I think obviously a keeper obviously needs to be done in a centre half, one minimum. So you're
You
looking at
definitely need two. Surely need two. Temple's gone out the door, and
yeah,
so and we'll get into the both of these things. But Temple and Coyle are both centre halves for Shells, and two of them are gone. Sure, I would be of the opinion probably need two. Like,
yeah, I think so too. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
So yeah, two centre halves, a goalkeeper at a minimum, and then if you probably need to shift the striker before bringing one in. I don't think you can have four
yeah,
strikers
probably
playing.
Boyd would go.
Yeah, you'd imagine. So Martin signed a new deal. Meeple will definitely get another crack at it next season. So
Yeah,
yeah, be Boyd out if you're getting someone in, which mightn't be easy to do with his injury record. So that's one to keep an eye on. But we'll touch on the outgoings. Obviously, Connor Kearns left the club for Dundalk. Obviously fantastic for Dundalk. We'll touch on that. But for Shells, it's kind of a sad one to see the likes of Connor Kearns, to see the likes of Mark Cole, kind of players that were played such a big part in that title winning season leaving the club. It's kind of it's something that I felt needed to happen. I think it was something that we need to kind of refresh the squad a bit and to say take that next step forward. But it is kind of a sad day to see the likes of these lads going and leaving the dressing room.
bit mad, isn't it though? Like this time last year, like where both of them were at. Like you were saying for Connor Kearns being the Ireland squad and how yeah, Coyle was probably the best centre midfielder in the league. Like and now they're both after leaving the club. It's a bit anticlimactic.
Yeah, yeah. I think with Kearns, obviously injuries last season probably killed him, and I think Shells must be confident of getting a Wessel Spiel back, who really did impress last year. So, probably can't bank on Kearns staying fit or something, whatever the situation might
Mm.
be. Um, and then Mark Coyle, I think, in his defence, like it's not like we're like he's we brought in some fantastic midfielders like Kerr McInroy, Henry Francis. You have Lunny there, who's a really important player. You've Coote, you've Wood. It's not like it's a bad midfield. He's just got kind of fell in the pecking order a little bit because our midfield has got to a new level. I feel like,
Yeah, yeah, no, it's fair. You understand it. It's just a shame, really,
yeah, but he
in the
deserves to be
space of a
playing
year, you know.
in his actual
He
position.
does.
Filling
He
to
does, yeah. Apparently, Coleraine fans were saying that he's going to go up there and play centre half. I was reading that
ah,
on Twitter, which
that
is interesting.
yeah, I
I'm not
can't
too
see.
sure though.
Yeah, can't see that though, to be honest. Surely he's going there to play midfield. Like he's not a natural centre
Surely
half.
not.
Like he can play in a back three
No,
and get away with it, but
no.
he's not a centre half by trade.
Yeah, no, surely not. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously Lewis Temple as well gone to Bolton for a six-figure sum. So obviously kind of brings in a few quid to maybe look at a couple of options. But a young player didn't feature a huge amount last season, but obviously a good young talented player, and kind of a shame to lose him. But I think a six-figure sum is probably a fair deal for Shells, realistically. Like,
Yeah. Probably. What would you reckon? Probably about 100 and something, maybe.
yeah, give or
Yeah,
take.
yeah. So whatever. Like he wasn't really in the team. Probably someone I thought would get a bit more of a chance, considering when he played, he actually did well. But
Yeah.
I think there might have been a bit of a falling out there. But anyways, yeah. Bolton is it's a solid move for him, and he's good prospects. So yeah, we'll see.
Kind of surprised to see him get a move to England in a way. Because I didn't feel like he was really ready for that yet. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like he was our best defender by a distance, and they're, like usually like Honan getting over to Lincoln and things like that. Like usually it's like the best player in their position by him. Like I feel like he wasn't even like a
Yeah,
main
it's a
player. He
mad
was
one. It is a mad one. It
European
must be.
squad and stuff.
They must. Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? But I don't know. It's one of these things that could work out, or he could be back in the league in 18 months. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, because we saw, sorry, on that as well, we saw, I think, Eric Yoro went over to Bolton, young centre half from UCD. He's back at Longford now. Obviously, Connor Carty was over there. He's back in the league now. But then maybe, I think Owen Toll is still there from
Owen
Derry. So,
Toll's doing great
yeah,
there.
mixed bag, but he
Yeah,
went over a little bit older than the other two. So, yeah,
yeah.
interesting to see how he gets on. Final thing on Chelsea before we move on is that I'm actually glad to see that we've kind of tied down a lot of young players, but we're actually loaning them out to the first division. I saw Tyreek Sammy's gone to Bray, Taylor McCarthy, I think, gone to Longford, a couple of others, I think, as well. So I think it's good that Shell's been proactive in getting lads first team football next season. I think that's a really good sign.
Yeah. It's really important. Look at Conan Noonan at
Yeah.
Waterford, like a prime example. Yeah, lads get game time. They come back, they're ready to go. So yeah, no, it's equally as important. The 20s can only get you so far.
Yeah.
You need to get experience at first team level. So yeah, no, solid stuff.
We'll move on to Shamrock Rovers then. Obviously, we touched on Mulroney leaving Pats, but as in terms of an incoming, Luke, how you feeling about it?
It's one that I've had to let marinate. It's like when you put it in the pot and this year, like Jesus, that's
Referred to
what's
it as a
that going to look
car
like?
there earlier. A car.
It's a car. It is a car. It is a car. It is a car. No, I'm feeling really good about it. I'm only joking. It's one of these things, and look, we've talked about Jake Moraney loads on the channel, and last season especially, like his levels were completely off. They were, like it sometimes looked like he wasn't even trying playing for Pats, and it was
Yeah.
crap to see because I remember the season before when they came to Talon beat it was 3-0. He was best player on the pitch, got 2 goals and an assist, and I remember like literally he was unbelievable. He was unplayable, and I suppose when I think about him playing for Rovers, like that's what I hope to see. But definitely don't want to see the other side of him. But I think that if there is a manager in the league to get that out of him, I think it is Stephen Bradley. And I really do think that Bradley can be that man. And as I was saying to you, Ross, like when he was in the MLS, he did play left wing back for Orlando and Atlanta, I think. So he has experience there. And I think I don't know about it in Europe, him playing wing back, but I think domestically, him and Danny Grant on the wings could create a lot of goals. So I'm feeling optimistic.
You've certainly changed your tune from when the rumor first circulated. Anyway, you wanted
Says the man
you
that
wanted
said
nothing to
Jack
do with him.
Byrne
You
was going to
wanted
win
nothing to do with
PFAI.
him. You wanted nothing to do with him.
PFAI Player of the Year, Jack Byrne. What happened to that one?
Do you know what it is though? It's like I think it's a genuine concern that like bringing Jack Byrne back, bringing in Mulroney. There's a bit of a concern there around like it could go one or two ways with those like boys coming into the
It
side. I
definitely,
think.
it definitely could, but when you look at the squad that we have, even if Jack Byrne and Jake Mulroney do go offside, you still have the guts of 20 players to pick from that are top quality, you know what I mean? So I think that's the difference that Bradley's picked up. Yeah, if this was Bradley's first or second or third year going, that could be potentially a hand grenade. But at this stage of the cycle of the squad, I think that it's almost like if Jake Mulroney comes in and he doesn't abide by the rules, he'd be sitting in the stands, you know what I mean? It's not like a Pats thing where managers are coming and going once a year. I think this is a completely different dynamic. So I think he could thrive in that environment.
Possibly, possibly. If he's being brought in to play left wing back, which I think he is, I think it's a massive, massive risk. Like,
Yeah, but then Dara Burns got brought in as well as a winger, and he
yeah,
started playing. So it's been
I,
done before.
I just think with Danny Grant and Dara Burns, you kind of get young lads that you can mold a little bit, and they're kind of impressionable. Whereas Jake Mulroney's coming in, probably thinking I'm the head honcho here, kind of entering, coming up to 30 now, nearly 30.
A head honcho, I think, is on over. Like, I think he's going to come in and be like, I belong here. But I don't think he's going to come in and say I'm the best player in this team because he isn't. That sort of way. Like, so it's one of these things. I think time will tell. But I think if it works out, it could really work out. Like we're talking with PFI team into the year. I think if Jake Moraney's a success this season, he'll be in it.
I think as a team that was playing Rovers, if I saw Mulroney playing at wing back, I'd be like, we can get at him defensively. Do you know what I mean? I think that's one like where compared to
Definitely.
Honohan last year, like
Yeah, there's no
such a
comparison defensively between Honahan and
balance
Mulroney.
Honohan offered, like going forward and defensively. It's just such a level there from that in terms of the balance it offers the side. And Danny Grant and Mulroney are both maybe you could get away with one of them because with Honohan on the other side because you can kind of make it a little bit make it work.
But
Both of them are
technically,
out and out wingers, like they're proper out and out wingers. They're not natural wing backs.
no, that's it. But I suppose we have the players to look after the ball in that sense. Most of the time we will have the ball, and if you're a fullback and who do you rather run at you, Josh Honahan or Jake Mulroney? Technically, Jake Mulroney is better, and his delivery
I
will
think
create a lot of
I don't
chances.
know, like Honohan
Well,
last
obviously the
season.
physicality of Honahan is he's a brute of a bloke, so like he is a big presence, and airily you wouldn't want to go near him. But technically, Mulroney, like like
His
even
delivery
last
is
season when he
class.
played pants, he still scored some cracking goals. You know what I mean? He has it in his locker to put something on a sixpence, like.
Yeah,
So
free kicks, and delivery from wide positions is where he thrives, isn't it? So
yeah, yeah,
those deep crosses into whether it be Gaffney or whoever else could work a treat.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm really, really intrigued by it. I can nearly see him playing further up the pitch at times as well, potentially
In
in maybe
Europe,
as a
maybe.
Graham Burke rotation option or something, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
So it'd be interesting to see if Rovers do go for another wing back, maybe as another player. Then we touched on the kind of younger options
I
before.
can't see it now. We've Enda Stevens signed. You've Corey O'Sullivan there. You've Adam Matthews that can play there. You've Danny Grant as right wing back. I think there's enough, and Max Kovleskis as well. There's lots
Osman
of
Bunya.
options. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it'd be interesting. Obviously one that was linked with Rovers was Sean Maguire, and it looked like that was kind of his preference over it. It was kind of them and
yeah,
Bohs that were looking at him.
yeah.
Looked like his preference was Rovers. Looked like a difficult deal to do, and looking even more difficult now with Cork kind of holding firm in their stance that he's not going to leave the club. So it seems like Sean Maguire could be sticking around at Cork despite the rumours and the links with Rovers and the heavy interest, you'd imagine.
Honestly, you know what? When I read an article and like news comes out, I'm like, oh, fair, like that is what it is. But with this, I just don't. I just don't believe it for a second. I just don't. I just don't like Cork have Rory Keaton there, and they have signed that Finn Harps striker that's got a lot of goals last season. Like, you know what I mean? They're not gonna have Maguire there as well. I think what they're thinking is, obviously Simon Grayson's gone into Cork now, and all of his with all of his wit and experience. I think they're saying, no, no, no. If we're letting him go, we're gonna make something of him. And they're saying six figures for him. Like, come what? Like, who are you? Like, Mark Coyle, league winning captain's just gone up to call Rain for half of that probably. Shawnee Maguire,
Conan, what was Conan Noonan, 80K was it or something like young
a
player?
50,
50,
50.
50,
It's
50.
50. That's
That's
what I
yeah.
mean. They want six figures for a 31-year-old Shawnee Maguire, and they're in the first division, and they don't even have a manager. I'm like, lads, you know what I mean? That's like me walking out with me goldfish and saying, right, Stephen Kenny, give me the car. You know?
Yeah, oh, it's a big sign though. Like, is it one that I can't even picture him playing for Rovers? Do you know what I mean
I
though? Like,
can. I
can you?
actually can. I can see it. I can
Really?
100%. I think you see. I think he would get us a back because like he is the most devastating striker that's played in this league in the last 10, 15 years. And I think the problem at Cork was Pats fans even said it. When they lost 3-0 down to them in Turner's Cross, he was the best player on the pitch. The problem was getting him service. And I
Yeah,
think if he's in a team that has a Mulroney, that has a Jack Byrne, that has a Grainberg, that has all these technical players, I think you'll get a bag of goals regardless of age. So, yeah, I think it's one that will happen. I just think it's going to take some time. It's going to take a little bit of negotiation, a little bit of kind of sitting tight and waiting for the Shawnee to throw his toys out of the pram, or
yeah.
you know,
He doesn't
you
strike me
know.
as that type of bloke, especially
I
with
don't think he will. Yeah,
Cork faithful as
yeah,
well. He's such a legend down there, do you know. I just can't imagine
yeah.
he'd be the type.
But from a Shawnee Maguire perspective, like, is he really going to do another season in the first division,
I don't.
especially
I
when the
think he definitely doesn't
champions
want
want
it.
you?
He doesn't
You know what
want
I
it.
mean? Like,
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want it. Like, I'm just trying to
that's
pull
it.
up something funny here from a while ago. Bear with me here now.
Oh, this is everyone I'm quite passionate about. Now I know he's only promoted, but Shawnee Maguire.
Don't mind that.
Overrated 11, by the way.
I just think, like, what's he's only 30, and it feels like he's 40.
That was Luke Jennings talking on our overrated 11. Sean
But
McGuire's most
my
devastating striker I've ever seen.
my no, but my point no, we will no, my point still stands. He could still be 40, but Rory Gaffney's 37, sure. But I think in this team he get a load of goals.
No,
That's
I
my point
agree. I
on
agree. I just thought of that there. I thought it'd be funny to pull it up.
it.
Um, yeah, no, I think if it's nice for Rovers, you're looking at 20, 50, at least probably 15 minimum, 20, looking at potentially 20 goals next season. So would be huge. Speaking of Gaffney as well, new contract. Happy with that?
Yeah. I'm just laughing. 30, but he looks 40. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that.
He looks great as well, to be fair.
He does know it wasn't from a looks perspective, not at all. Not at all. What were you saying? Sorry.
Rory Gaffney, new contract. Speaking of him, happy with that?
Ah, yeah, solid business. Yeah, solid. Another year, of Rory. Sure, he got 15 goals, and he doesn't look like he's slowing down now. I think he probably will slow down next season, but I think he has another year in him.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. I
Yeah.
saw, speaking of kind of your strikers as well, Michael Noonan. Saw on his Instagram there a couple of weeks ago. He's at the Celtic game for the old firm. He's in the crowd watching. Probably nothing to read into too much, but obviously been a team that's been strongly linked with him. I certainly hope he doesn't go there for his own sake. You look at the Johnny Kenny treatment and
No,
Liam Scales,
surely not.
all the Irish boys that were over there, the dogs abuse. So really hope that that's not his next move. But the fact he's at the game is a great sign, I suppose.
Jesus. Yeah, no, no, I can't see that. Man United linked him. I could see
Yeah,
him going somewhere like that. Like,
yeah, yeah.
no, surely not Celtic. And we're gonna want to go to two mil from him as well. Like, so I
Yeah,
can't see Celtic paying that.
yeah, especially with the stick they're getting over the Irish boys at the minute as well.
No.
Sam Curtis as well was obviously one we'd linked with Rovers. He's gone to Chesterfield on loan, I think, as well. So that one's dead and buried. But yeah, wish him the best there. Hopefully, he kind of
Yeah.
kicks on a little bit. Be good to see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he did well. He played in the weekend. I was reading. Did he play in the weekend? He played the game,
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
and he did well. So yeah, no, about time he kind of found his feet, and I hope he can build up now. And yeah, start his that. We need a right back for the national team eventually. So yeah, he'd be a good one.
100%, 100%. Obviously, Sean Kavanagh as well. One of the kind of golden oldies of the team the last couple of years.
Mm.
Hasn't been featuring too much, but yeah, stepped up into a coaching position. How you feel? It's not a player coach, isn't it? It's just a full on
No,
coach.
it's just coach.
Yeah,
Yeah, everyone always says when it's like teammates and Rovers and like best this, best that, best trainer. Sean Cavanagh was always the best trainer, and
yeah.
it was almost like I remember when he first came back from Fulham. Like Duffer recommended him to Bradley to sign. He was quality, like an unbelievable left foot,
Ah,
technically
yeah,
so intelligent,
yeah,
but I feel like his body almost gave up on him,
yeah,
and it's a shame. But I think it's somewhere I can really see him as a coach, especially with McPhail going. He's a really kind of you can tell he's had a football brain,
yeah.
and yeah, I think he'd be a solid one. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no, I think it's the right step for him. I think because yeah, he's just so injury prone. Such a shame because he's a fantastic player. Lovely left
Mm.
foot. And was a great servant as well. So it's great to see him kind of sticking around the place. Probably good for the dressing room and the likes as well. So good to have him sticking around.
Yeah, yeah, good to bridge the gap between the players and the coaches as well. So yeah, no win-win.
We'll jump into Galway then. Got a couple of signings over the line. Obviously, we touched on a few bits. We've touched on Francini Lombodo. A lot of the fans kind of uninspired by that signing. Yeah, it doesn't kind of reassure you at all, isn't it? Not that one.
They're in trouble. They're in big trouble in my book. And now listen, Kazim off Pats was a great
Yeah, that's what I
signing, and
saw.
Lombard. I think we linked both of them to Galway in the last few. They've both been
Yeah,
since confirmed. But it's yeah, they're probably the one team. Even Dundalk, we'll get onto them, but like they're starting to get their act together a bit.
yeah.
Like Galway are just kind of they're scraping the barrel, aren't they?
Every team is like improving and leaves me so competitive. And it just feels like they're slipping. I think Kazim is a good sign. I think he's a really
Yeah.
screwed pickup, and it felt like a good move for everyone involved.
Yeah, no, solid. That's the first like one I say. Yeah,
Yeah,
like that's good, but that's it. That's it. Like
I don't think.
everyone else is kind of
Yeah, I'm just looking at their squad here. As far as I know, I don't think they've signed a goalkeeper yet. I don't think they've
no,
done.
they don't.
No,
No,
which is
but
which is
surely James Talbot is nailed on to go to Galway.
you'd imagine, wouldn't you? But like, does he want? It's a big move for him. Like, does he want to leave Dublin and go there? Like,
Yeah, well, he's not gonna get in. Bows, like no, he just left there.
mm,
Pats, you've Nang and Rogers, you ain't getting in there. Rovers, you've McGinty and whatever. Alex Noonan, the 17s World Cup, you're not getting in there. Like, so he's not gonna. And then Dundalk made sense, but obviously Kearns has gone there. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? It's just like, where'd you go?
which could
Galway could be the play.
yeah, because saw Kearns was at Galway previously. That so you could have maybe have seen that one or something, but obviously I feel like that's nearly too big a step or something. I don't know.
I think Galway isn't too far away as well. It's one of these things they can
Yeah,
negotiate and down, going down once or twice a week, doing his own thing on a
especially for a
Thursday or
goalkeeper
something.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can do your own thing
surely.
like a bit.
Surely, I think James makes. I'd be shocked if he went anywhere else. To be honest, I just can't see him anywhere else unless he drops down to the first division. But yeah, surely like this, that's the no-brainer for Galway.
Rovers have McGinty, Derry have Maher, Pats have Anang, Shells. Well, Shells wouldn't take Talbot. I don't think that's happening.
Surely not.
Uh,
Surely not.
Kearns at Dundalk, Trask at Bohs, Dennis and Drogheda, Sargent and Hughes at Sligo, and then Doherty and Mullen. So if you Galway, that's the only kind of Premier Division side you could see Talbot going to. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Surely it happens.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I fear for them. Do you know what I fear? I fear for Galway. Like up top, like I know Lee Devitt signed. He's a good player from Treaty, but they don't have a striker, so to speak. Like I know
yeah.
Lombardo signed, they have McGuinness, but there's no one.
Even
There's
Walsh
no
is
one.
still knocking around, but like his days are numbered.
His days are numbered. There's just no one there that I think's going to get you near to 10 goals, and I think that's a problem. I don't think they're going to keep them out on the other end either.
Think they've only got four defenders signed up at the minute. Killian Browder, the two new signings, Williams and Facineri, and then Kazim as well. So
Mm.
it's pretty
What's the crack with Greg Cunningham? Is he finished now, or what's his story?
good question. Actually, I haven't heard anything on that. I don't think he's
Mm.
re-signed at the minute. He's not re-signed,
Right,
so I don't know if
right.
he could be finishing up. Like, you know,
Maybe, yeah, yeah,
actually
maybe it would
forgot about
make
him
sense.
completely. Actually, to be honest, you think if they're signing Kazim at left full, you'd think Cunningham's done. Like,
You would think, yeah, you would think like what's their team? Browder, Williams, centre halves, and then you've Kazim left back. You've Darren Bolger in the middle, Devitt in the 10, Twardek out wide.
Hurley,
Uh,
David.
Oh, David Hurley, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hurley, Devitt, and Bolger isn't the worst
No,
trio midfield, to be fair. And then what? You've Twardek and who's on the other wing?
Ed McCarthy maybe.
Okay, yeah, that's not too
All
bad, but
right, like
it's
they'll be
all
tough to
right,
beat
but
at home again. Like it'd be one of those ones. Like
they're gonna be either 10th or ninth
yeah,
in my
realistic.
book.
Yeah, yeah, they will. They'll pick up at the odd point. They'll be tough. They're always a tough place to go, but
Yeah.
yeah, definitely a concerning one for them. Obviously.
Okay.
John O'Sullivan was linked with it. I'm actually looking at the midfield. The midfield's pretty stacked, to be honest. So I actually don't really see the John O'Sullivan one to
Yeah.
Galway being like a no-brainer. Like it doesn't feel like that's what they need at the minute. It's not a priority position. Like
No, 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 I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I think Galway are probably in a spot of bother. But yeah, let's see what they do. There's nothing really else from my side I've heard about them. What about
no,
you?
been quiet enough. You'd like to think to get a few signings in the door, especially a goalkeeper over the next couple of weeks. Or bit of pre-season behind them. Dundalk then, we touched on them. They've impressed me with their business as of late. Obviously, brought in Connor Kearns in goal, and that's a bit of a statement signing, isn't it? That's a brilliant pickup on loan.
What a signing!
Yeah,
Literally, what? Like I remember this time last year, I was like, "Can we get him in goals for Rovers?" Like, and
yeah,
now he's at
yeah.
Dundalk. It's crazy. I think he's been very hard. I know he's been injured. And I know he had a few blips last season, but it's very harsh, isn't it? Like, it is a bit harsh.
It is a little harsh. Yeah, yeah. You just feel like they must be confident that Spiel's coming back, and Joey
Mm,
likes like Spiel is Joey's man or something. And then you can't have Kearns
yeah.
sitting on the bench like it's
No, you can't.
right
It's a
now. So
crime.
maybe it's a case of Spiel comes in for the season on loan. Kearns gets back up to speed at Dundalk, then maybe Kearns comes back and if off the back of a good season, maybe comes back in or something. You don't know, but yeah, it's hard to know.
I can't help but feel like those bridges are a bit burnt with Joey and him.
Maybe.
Considering like he's never like Joey came in and was like, right, new goalie. I know Kearns is out injured, but like, yeah, it was nearly the first thing he did, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, no, it was.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was needed at the time, to be fair, because Kearns was out, but still, yeah, no, I
Mm,
think he does like Spiel now. So,
yeah.
interesting to see what happens. Obviously they brought in Danny Mullen, who was released by Derry, which is a solid signing up front as well. I think he's kind of a
Very good.
fairly proven at this stage Premier Division striker. I think he scored like 7 or 8 goals last season, maybe for Derry, which is like a solid enough return for League of Ireland level. Like obviously you'd probably like him to nick a few more, but for a newly promoted side, I think that's a very I think he's 30 now, good age for kind of a newly promoted side coming up. Bit of experience up top to play alongside the Rubies, and if they can re-sign Owen Kenny, I think it's a good option. To a bit of
Yeah.
experience up top and a bit of a proven player.
Oh, it's good. It's good business. Yeah, I was reading as well about Owen Kenny potentially being re-signed. I know there's some interest in him from across the water, but it's looking like that he's going to get another year at Dundalk, which I think would be good for him. And I think that
Definitely.
makes sense, probably.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. So the squad's coming together nicely. Obviously, Daryl Horgan on the wing and things like that as well, and midfield solid enough. Keep Buckley coming in. I've heard a rumor about Aidan Kelly, 21-year-old defender, former Northern Irish under 18 international, I believe. So I think I'm not sure if he's on trial or if he's just being looked at the minute. But centre half being an area they're looking to improve. But Vinnie Leonard obviously is the rumor that won't go away. Celtic, Norwich, Genoa are the three recently linked teams for him. So
Yeah.
it's interesting maybe if Leonard goes, they'll bring in Aidan Kelly as kind of a natural replacement, maybe.
I don't. For some, I think it'd be Leonard in the summer.
Yeah.
I think he'll stick it out till then. Yeah, but Aidan Kelly, he plays his football in the US. I think he went to college over there or something. So he's probably looking to come back. And obviously Northern Ireland, Dundalk. The logistics kind of make a bit of sense.
Yeah.
There's a few other ones now I saw on trial. Now I don't know much about these lads, but one fella Jesse Williams, he's a Trinidad and Tobago. Um, international centre midfielder. And then there's two other fellas I don't know much about now. Callum Watson, don't know much about him, and then an Icelandic winger, I think his name's Steiner uh Bornison or something. I can't pronounce it, but look, the players in the building, they're trying out lads, they're looking at people. It's good. It's
Yeah.
good. They're running the rule over a few players.
To be fair, like Icelandic footballers are well in my good books at the minute, so they should definitely look to sign them, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there was two more kind of proven players in the league, which I think both would be fantastic signs. And I could see both of them happen, to be honest. First one being Rob Cornwall,
Oh,
released from Bohs. But see,
yeah.
Bohs fan, every time I see the words Rob Cornwall on Twitter, there's at least one Bohs fan under the comments saying, "Why do we let him go? He was so solid for us. What were we doing?"
Yeah.
So I think that could be like Cornwall and Leonard could be a really good combination, a mix of youth and experience. And then another one, which I know they've signed Bobby Burns off Galway, which is a fantastic acquisition. But another one I think they should do, Trevor Clark.
I saw
I
that
know
actually. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he's under contract at Rovers, but he didn't even get onto the he came on in Athens when we had a bit of an injury crisis, but he didn't even get onto the bench in the cup final that Sunday. So
Yeah.
I think he's a bit out of favour now. He's a year left in his deal, so that could be probably a loan, maybe.
I think
But
Rovers would let him go for free, to be honest.
yeah,
Get him
it
off the
probably is
books.
Darren Nugent job like
Yeah,
this.
get him off the
Yeah,
books.
yeah. It might be a case of if Trevor Clark wanted to keep his wage compared to what Dundalk were offering, that might be a
Maybe,
stipulation.
maybe actually, yeah, yeah. That's a good
But
point.
he's someone that can play left back, left mid, right mid. He's really, he hasn't really had a run of games in a couple number of years. So yeah, two
Yeah,
players there,
a lot of
Cornwall and
interest.
Clark. I think that they could really like find like look at their squad then of the Cornwall, Clark, Kearns, Burns,
Buckley,
Leonard,
experience.
Horgan.
Danny Mullen
Oh
there.
yeah, Keith Buckley, Danny Mullen. Listen, that's a set better team than
Solid.
Galway.
Yeah, we said before, like they had quite a young side coming up. They need
Yeah,
Premier Division experience, and they're definitely going about doing that. And I think it's definitely the right approach to have that bit of a blend. Like,
yeah.
one I haven't seen this linked anywhere. It's actually just off the back of our quiz that we did recently was about talking about Reece Brennan. Thinking, I was looking at Dundalk. They have Daryl Horgan and McDade as their kind of only winger options. Obviously, you're talking about Trevor Clark there, but like, could a Reece Brennan loan from Bohs maybe be an option?
Maybe. Yeah, that could
What
be
I'm
another
coming up
shout.
with. But
I think Owen Kenny can play out there as well.
yeah,
He's not really playing up top anymore. He's kind of in the 10 slash out wide. But yeah, Reece Brennan could be a good shout because he's hasn't really got looking, has he, since that goal in Tala?
not really. No, no. So I think he definitely
Yeah,
needs some first team football. So yeah, definitely
good
one to
shout.
keep an eye out on. Um, that's it for Dundalk from my end. Anyway, anything else from you?
No, that's it from my end as well. Yeah, they're tipping along nicely.
Nice. We'll move on to their loud neighbours then. Not a huge amount from Drogheda at my end anyway.
So,
Obviously brought in a few players in the last year, but one rumour I saw was Leo Burney, centre back released by Seattle Sounders. Obviously just to come in to compete with your Quinns, your Keelys, your Bulgers, so probably a backup option there. But Drogheda have had some success with the kind of US market, so it feels like a one that they're dipping their toes back into.
yeah, they've had great success. Obviously, Dennison, I know he didn't come from the US, but a US player, Owen Lamb, and they've signed obviously Ethan O'Brien,
Yeah,
another great player. So, yeah, so a mark in which Kevin Doherty feels comfortable. And to be honest, they need backup because Aaron Harper Bailey's after departing the club. He's probably their backup centre half. So this fellow come in, Leo Burney, kind of no real expectation. Like they're kind of setting Quinn Keeley
Bulger.
and who's the third one? Quinn Keeley and who?
James Bulger.
James Bulger, yeah. So, yeah, Birdie kind of going there. That's a shrewd one. I think that I could see that happening in the coming day. It might even be announced by the time this video comes out. To be honest.
Yeah, yeah, could well be, could well
Yeah,
be. It'd be a good option for them. But to trade the back, you need a couple of backup options, so be good to
yeah,
have for them. Um, Move on to Derry then. Not a huge amount on Drogheda, so move on to Derry City. Busy on the rumours front for Derry. Obviously, the kind of I think the only confirmed signings are Slevin, Markey, Oleinka, and Clark. Obviously, four cracking bits of business. But heard a good few rumours. Patrick McLean, I think, looks like that one could be on the cards potentially.
hmm yeah,
Good option at the back. I think they probably need another centre half. So I think he can do a job at left full as well, can't he? So I think that'd be a good one
yeah.
to get in.
Solid, yeah, solid business. Yeah, I think that's a sure. I think that's inevitable as well. And why he'll lead the path for his brother
Yeah,
eventually, probably in the summer. So I could definitely see that. And he was probably one of Sligo's best players when he signed.
yeah,
So I think they'll bring that stability to there and a direct replacement for Sam Todd as well, who departed for Bohs. So,
yeah. No, exactly.
yeah,
A
yeah.
couple other rumors I've heard. Josh Daniels, I think that was one we touched on before, maybe.
Mhm.
TNS, I think he's a winger or like a wing back type player, maybe do a job of fullback for you. But I've
Yeah,
heard really good things about him. I think he wants to come home to Northern Ireland. I think he's obviously over in Wales, so kind of a player highly thought of. So that could be a good option to have as well. I don't know where you necessarily play with Duffy, Clark, Olayinka, Gavin White, but another option all the same.
yeah. Why not? I think he's one of these players that you can play in a number of positions. I think he's playing wing back at some stage for
Yeah,
TNS, so he's an option there as well. I don't know if you saw it. Josh Thomas announced as
yeah.
well. He was signed.
Announced.
Yeah,
Was it? Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was a rumor. Yeah, yeah.
Where's that? Was it? No, I saw it like being confirmed. Like, was it confirmed?
I definitely saw it as a rumor. I haven't seen it confirmed
Yeah,
yet. I'll just double check now.
have a
Um,
look there.
but what do you think on that one? Do you think he's a good pickup?
I think
Obviously, he looked bright at Drogheda at times, didn't he? He looked like a really kind of bright.
he's a dark horse, I think.
Yeah,
Like one of the Drogheda fans I know raves about him. Says when he's on the pitch, he does a job, and he's only going to get better. I think that's a little shrewd one from there. Obviously, they have who the hell do they even have? Danny Mullen's gone now. They've Liam Boyce there. Who else is that? I
Uh,
think I'm not.
Akinyemi,
Oh
another
yeah,
option as
Depot.
well.
Yeah,
Ito
the
Akinyemi.
Depot.
You look good last
Boys.
year, actually.
Yeah,
Um,
Thomas might have that bit of youth on his side, and I think he's one of these players. He had exposure to the league now, so I think he'll be a good one for Derry. I don't know. Has he been announced for us or no?
I haven't didn't see the official announcement, but Derry Journal a couple of days ago said they're on the brink of signing him on a loan
Okay,
from Swansea.
okay, so
So I think it will happen. It looks like it's fairly locked
yeah,
in.
yeah, fair,
Might
fair,
be
yeah,
might be
yeah. I
done
think
by the
that
time this video comes out. To be fair.
probably, yeah, probably. I think to be honest, I think it's good business. It's kind of one you never go, whatever, but it's one you could see and like you look back on in 9 months' time and go, Jesus, fair play to him. He got 12 goals, you know?
Yeah, because Liam Boyce and Akinyemi are kind of like more your hold up
Yeah,
kind of target man type, whereas Josh Thomas is kind of more nippy and can run in behind and things. So I think it's a different option for them up there. Obviously, James
definitely.
Clark can do a job up there as well, but I think James Clark
Yeah,
will probably play in the 10 or out wide or something. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, I think it's a shrewd signing, and Derry are kind of tipping away nicely. Another rumor I saw was Kofi Balmer, a defender. I haven't really heard of him before, to be fair, but he's supposed to be really highly rated. I think he's coming from England. Let's double check that now. He plays for Motherwell, but I think he's been strongly linked with Derry City as well. So that'd be another centre back
That's
option to bring in.
nice, nice. Yeah, yeah. The checkbook is loose and dairy.
Yeah,
So I think that'd be a sound one. I saw as well a site Diallo is the part of the club as well. Which is probably a few weeks in the offing. But obviously someone that's been there, I say the guts now nearly 3 seasons, so a bit
yeah,
of a loss physicality wise, but at the same time, probably his time has come to an end. And to be honest, we're talking about Galway United. He could be one that could go to, you know what I mean? Like
yeah. That's true. That's
I
true.
could see him staying in the league, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Sorry, I just double
Yeah.
checked that Kofi Balmer thing. So he actually had a move to Ross County fall through, and
Okay.
he's a former Larne defender, so obviously he has that link with Tiernan Lynch as well. So that would make sense, I guess.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, I'm really kind of quietly confident when it comes to Derry. Obviously, sorry, another point as well on Josh Daniels. I know we're for zigging and zagging here, but obviously they've lost Ronan Boyce. But Tiernan Lynch seems to like that three at the back formation.
Yeah,
Obviously Duffy was kind of playing the 10 there, and I could see either Markey or Clark playing in the other 10. But I think Josh Daniels could do a job of right wing back for Derry. And it's obviously they've lost out there, so it's probably like for like in a sense.
100%. Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense. And yeah, their squad is looking strong. In fairness, like it's coming along nicely. Um, Obviously that back three, if you've Slevin McLean and if you've Kofi Balmer there or whatever, it's fairly solid. Adam O'Reilly's still knocking around, like it's a Carl Winchester, like they've got
They've gotten rid of. We were flagging them for Craggy Island stuff last year, but they've gotten rid of a good bit of their older profile. But obviously, Mark Conley's the part of the club. Shane Ferguson, definitely others I can't think of now, but they've lost a few, haven't they?
they have, yeah, I think they're right. We kind of knew that a few of them are going to be
Mm.
duds, like at that stage of their.
Yeah, yeah, in
Um,
and out. Yeah,
Anything else, Derry, your side?
no, nothing else. I saw Shawnee Maguire was one of the club. Derry were looking at him as well, but I don't think there's real substance to
No,
that.
especially Josh Thomas now. That's definitely dead.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Final club then, Bohemians. Signed today as we're filming this on Thursday. So it's a massive signing today. Harry Vaughan coming in on loan from Hull City now. He's I don't is he current under 21 or is he just I'm not sure he's finished up to the under 21s now, might be too
Mm.
old, but an under 21 Irish international, a player that I've seen bits and pieces of. Actually saw him in Football Manager. Anyway, he was very good for me to be fair. Yeah, this is I think this could be a really, really good pickup to be honest. This could be dangerously good.
I saw that League of Ireland kind of transfer page on Twitter put it this morning, and to be honest, I laughed when I saw it because I was like, not that I didn't think it would happen, but I was just like, really?
Yeah.
Because he's number 14 for Hull,
Oh, he's
like as I
proper in
said,
and around the first team
he's
then.
proper in and around the team, like, but
Yeah.
some going. And I was looking, Dale Rooney kind of plays a bit off the right now. I was thinking, Jesus, Dale Rooney's on the left as well, but Rooney can play off the right. So if you've Vaughan on one wing, Rooney on another, and Douglas James Taylor up top, and then you've either Patrick Hickey or Ross Tierney in the 10, I'm like, oh my God, Bohs are making moves here,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, looking very solid. Obviously,
Yeah.
um, still got the likes of Connor Parsons knocking around. Reece Brennan's still there for the minute. Colin Whelan. Yeah, teams come together. I would say, uh, they look a little light at the back. I would say, to be honest.
Yeah. They haven't really addressed the fullback positions, have they?
No. So like
Yeah,
you're
it's a
looking at
problem.
should they just go and get an Axel Shelberg? Should they try and join the mix for another
And
left
maybe
full?
bring Anto Breslin back or Ben Doherty off
Yeah.
Derry. There were two players linked.
Grant Doherty was one linked, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely to address that because they've got Flores. You can do a job at left, obviously not a natural left back, but he was decent there last season. Morahan can do a job at right back, but again, he's a midfielder. Like it's not ideal to be playing him there. They signed Sam Todd, Keember and Lee Kavanagh, Okadina. None of them massively fill me with confidence. You know, like when you look at other teams, like obviously Shells have Barrett, but Pats have Redmond, Rovers have Pico and the likes. Like, you know, the teams that are competing at the top have like that stalwart centre half. I just don't think Bohs have that really. Like,
Yeah, it's a bit of an issue. Like obviously they've their centre halves there, they've Todd, whatever, Keemer, and that might be the pairing going into next season. But like I just think fullbacks. Has Kasper Czahazgi even signed a new contract? Yeah, I don't know if that's been announced.
I
Remember we were
think so. I
wondering
think
that.
yeah, I think
Okay.
he's under contract. Yeah, yeah,
That's huge, but like the fullback to go get done if they don't have like they've missed out on so many players as well. Ronan Boyce I thought was going to go there.
yeah.
Edwin like
Yeah.
Baji, I was like, oh maybe he'd be a good coup for them. They've missed out on like I don't know how they haven't even been like surely they would have got
Janet
one of
Sula
those.
went to Sligo, like, you know.
Yeah, another one
Yeah.
exactly. Like there was fullbacks on the market, and I'm just like, it's a bit worrying. Like, is Rennie really thinking he's going to go into the season with Morgan right back and Flores left back? Like, is that the play?
That's what it's
Surely not.
like at the minute. Like even like Joe
Sure.
Benny Couto, like Joe take a chance on him at left back
Yeah.
or something, you know, like
Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
even
it's
with
just
you had the European pull, like Edmund like Baje, if you had it gone from surely you would have got him over Drogheda, like, you know, like it's just
sure.
oh,
That's
mad,
sure. I
mad.
don't know.
It really
I
is.
don't know. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Like it's a bit weird.
Yeah. I
Like
think we,
going forward, like I said it to you before the video. Like I think the Bows could be in a title race this season. When I saw that Vaughan and I was thinking about their attack, and I was like, "There's going to be so much goals." You have Devoy and Moorhan, but then you look at them at the back and you go, "Oh, they might just there might be another fourth or fifth job because of the defense."
Joe, they had a lot of games last year where it was like a crazy scoreline, you know, it was
Yeah.
end to end, and there's like they need to nip that in the bud a little bit, you know, like they need to kind of just allow the void to dictate the game and actually control it and not be leaking silly goals to the
Mhm.
back. A couple of players were linked to it. Obviously Sean Maguire was one they were linked to it, and I don't think strikers like a massive priority for Bows. Like
No.
Douglas James Taylor is a top player. Colin Whelan's a top backup. Sean Maguire, like throwing him into the mix there, like you're gonna like Douglas James Taylor's the type of fella that would be annoyed not playing every week, you know, that kind of way as well. He strikes me as that kind of character. Like,
Sean
uh,
Maguire isn't a Bowes player. I could. You're saying you couldn't see Sean Maguire in a Rovers jersey. I couldn't see Sean Maguire in a Bowes jersey.
neither. I could just see him in a nice red top and Drumcondra, like.
Oh, what's he wearing a Pats top and Drumcondra for?
You wouldn't be seeing dead in that jersey. Uh, the Georgie Kelly links as well, they've gone quiet as well. So yeah, that's not happening.
Lot of cryptic tweets around him. Do you see all that?
Is there? Yeah,
Lot of a lot of cryptic tweets. I wonder that's one I have a bit of a
suspicion
feeling
of.
about.
Yeah,
Georgie, I could see it because he kind of fall. I know he was doing well for Carlisle there, but he's kind of fallen a bit by the wayside last couple of years. I know there's an injury involved there, but he was on the bench in one or two games, and I'm just wondering, Bows do have the leverage financially to
yeah,
potentially make a play there.
yeah.
No, no wonder.
I don't think it's a priority position.
I know. I just
Yeah,
think they're recruiting, and I feel like they're going very attack heavy, and they're just forgetting
yeah,
about the defense.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. Because they've got if they signed fullbacks, they're kind of stacked in midfield, and they could probably shift on someone because you've got James McManus back there in the mix, who was on loan at Sligo, did very well. Adam
Forgot about that.
McDonald,
Yeah,
yeah, Adam
yeah.
McDonald, Hickey, Devoy. Then if you had Flores and Moynihan back in there, you don't really need six midfielders for two positions, so, you know, like because you're gonna have
And
two
they've
every
got
week.
rid of John Mountney, right full, and they haven't replaced him.
No,
You know.
no, it's a definitely an area that they need to address. You'd feel, um, yeah, but it's gonna be an interesting season for Bows, and I think this could be like a really hard season to call overall, like because bar maybe Galway, every team's looking pretty decent. Like,
For Galway or Rovers, it's going to be tough to call the league.
okay,
Um,
Rovers and third, yeah, yeah.
the
I
more
don't,
trophies Rovers win, the less faith you have in them. I
I have
don't
a
get it.
sneaky
What's
suspicion like that
on?
It's gonna be a Derry Shells title race.
Put your money where your mouth. I wish there was money involved there. It would actually, it would
Tenner,
filter you so much.
tenner,
We're
tenner.
talking about here. We're talking about leaky defenses. The Shells need to sort out their defense.
Like
Make,
Oran Casey, Paddy Barrett, Cameron Ledwidge back three.
you were literally saying in our last video how Cameron Ledger's his time is up.
You were
You
saying
know,
too in the last video there that you wanted to sign up for Rovers.
I was saying he was linked, and I was hoping it wasn't true. I was like, surely not.
Rovers
Surely
are looking
that's
at
not
him.
how we're going to get Europa League.
Rovers looking at him.
Oh, no, no, no chance. Thank God that wasn't true. But yeah, like yeah, I think it's gonna be tough. I think Derry are in a really good spot. I think to be honest, I think we're in a good spot as well. Even though you wouldn't like to admit it, I think we are. We've the guts of like 24 players signed. We just probably need to get one more, maybe whether that's a centre half or a striker. Uh, and yeah, who else? Yeah, Bohs are yeah. The teams are coming together.
I think
But
Sheffield's in a good spot to be fair, because I think they have 20 players signed up, or whatever. Like they're not a million miles away. It's just defense, centre halves,
It's just, yeah. Look,
and a
I'm
keeper.
not slagging you over the Europe stuff, but obviously he's scored no goals in the group stage, and like, I just think to win a league, I don't think you can win a league with Martin and Meepo up top. Like, surely you can see that. Like, like you wouldn't predict Chelsea win a league if he's had those two up top.
I'm not even just saying this for clicks or for whatever. I genuinely think Meepo is going to cook next season. Like I genuinely think he's
No,
going to.
no, listen, he
Next season.
could. He could do an
Yeah,
Afalabi on him. Remember Afalabi couldn't hit a
yeah,
barn door and then he just
yeah.
got 10 goals. But I just don't know if you can hang your hat. I think you need to have either Shawnee Maguire or you need a Paul Jammon to like do the first series of games and then you introduce Meepo and that's when he starts to come in, you know?
Yeah, I just have a really, really strong suspicion that Meepo's gonna like really, because like you think about like he could easily have scored 25 goals last season, like with the chances he missed. Like
Yeah.
if he scores 50% of the chances he gets, he'll be top goal scorer next season. Like you know, he's I feel like it's gonna click from like he's
Like
only
Johnny
23
Kenny.
or something, isn't he? Like he's not far
Yeah.
off. I feel like he gets into such great positions. He's great pace. He scores worldies. He just needs to just if you can just nail down the scoring, there's a bit of composure in front of goal. And you're right.
Mm.
You're right though. You're right. If he brought in a pod jam and even to work with him, kind of like learning from him and training and stuff like that would be amazing. And
Is that dead in the water now, that Paul Jammon
part
rumor?
of me thinks it's not because of Waterford signing Connor Carty, Tony Lonergan, and did we touch on signing another striker? Was there they have the man on trial, the striker from Norway on trial. So it's
Oh yeah.
like if they're looking at a fourth striker, like could Podge be like? But it's just if they're looking for 80K or whatever for him, like you're only going to get 1 year out of him. It's
What's
not.
the crack there? What 80K for Paul Jammon, the 100 grand for Shawnee Maguire? Is it? It's like a fine
The
wine.
boom
These
is back.
players are
The
getting
boom
more.
is back.
These players get more expensive the older they get.
Yeah. Oh, Father Romeo
Oh,
Sensini be up front for Shelbourne next season, but
oh, he'd be a great player.
yeah, yeah.
He'd be great.
Yeah, even sorry, I was just looking at a couple of first edition stuff that we had written down here. I only had two quick bits written down. We kind of touched on both of them during the video. Was Max Murphy at Wexford? That's another one. Bowes
Hmm.
could have looked at maybe. I know he was ex Bowes and he wasn't majorly liked by the fans, so maybe it wouldn't have been a good one. But I think like even get him in for rifle, as an option, would have been good. Like there's so many rifles that have slipped through the slipped through the net for them. Like
It's just, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Probably end up loaning an unknown quantity. That's what they normally do. They panic buy like three or four lads on deadline day.
yeah,
And if they do that, they're in big trouble. But surely they've learned from their mistakes. But yeah, here's a question for you. So early on this window, like who's the biggest loser and the biggest winner so far? We're in January now.
it's hard not to say Galway are the biggest loser. I would say
Hmm.
definitely difficult not to say them. Biggest
If you were
win.
to if you were to take Galway out of it, who would you have next? 'Cause obviously they're the easy answer. Who would you have like ninth being like, oh,
Do you know
I'm
what?
not so sure.
Probably Pats potentially.
Mata and Boyce.
Mata Boyce and Darren Nugent.
Yeah.
It's decent, like it's solid business, but like I think they need more, like and they haven't they're starting to shift a few players, but they still have a lot of players on like Breslin's under contract, Sean Hoare under contract, a lot of players there that they probably would ideally get rid of, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to know. I'm just having a quick gander myself now. I think maybe yeah, I don't know.
But even though you think about Pats, like
Maybe
they've lost
Shells
more.
because they haven't done a huge amount, but I think their squad was fairly decent position.
I
But
think Norris though was a pretty
Norris
impressive one.
very
Like
good sign. Yeah, yeah,
that's pretty impressive. Like, and I think Connor Walsh should be one we'll look back on in a year or two's time and go, that was good business. Like,
yeah, yeah. And then Lundgren
um,
was a stab in the dark. Like
yeah, no, that's a punt. Like, but it could go either way.
I'm
Um,
actually not saying this to wind you up because I'm just looking at the signings. But I'm not overly impressed by Rovers' business, to be honest. Shamrock Rovers.
yeah.
Enda Stevens, Connor Malley, Jake Mulroney.
Do you know what I think we're going for? Like, I was thinking about this, and like if we get Shawnee Maguire, that'll be six. players in our team that have played senior international football, and I have a feeling Brady's kind of going for this model where we've a load of older lads that have been there and done that, and then we bring in the younger lads, and it's almost like your Victors, your Maxes, and so on, Michael Noonans. I think that's kind of where he's going with it. But like, Enda Stevens is a solid. He's never going to start. You know, he's not going to play 50 games for us, but he'll do a job while Pico's gone. And
Yeah.
like Mulroney's one of these fellas. You know, I think he could be very good.
Like
It's just a matter
if you
of
sign
what he
Sean
wants to do.
Maguire, do you shift on John McGovern?
No, no, we paid 6 figures for him.
Yeah, but like, do you need four strikers for one position? Like you've Gaffney, Noonan, Maguire, then McGovern as well. Like
But you're forgetting Aaron Green. They had 4 strikers last season, like, and Aaron Green
Aaron
hasn't been. We
Green's
don't know what he's going to do. But if Aaron Green goes in theory, you need to replace him, and probably
yeah,
Gaffney will turn into the Green. You know, Gaffney will be 37 next season. He probably won't play as many games, so you probably needs if yeah, and potentially as well. Michael Noonan could go next summer.
that's
He's
true.
18 in the summer, you know,
That's
so
true. Yeah,
you're
that's
not
the other
really
thing
over.
actually I meant to say on Harry Vaughan was that his loan's only till the summer actually.
Oh, interesting.
That's not for the full season. So it's one of those where I could see it being a kind of Sean Graham style one where like does really well and then gets
Cooking,
to move to League One
and he
or something,
goes.
you know, or something like that. Like,
What's Will Jarvis up to these days?
good question. Very good question.
You
Notts
love
County,
him.
isn't it? Yeah. Because I suppose Hull have had good loanees. It bodes well for Bohs that Will Jarvis and Harry Wood have come from Hull and done really well in the league. So for
Yeah,
Harry Vaughan, it bodes
yeah.
well. Like,
Yeah. It does bode well. Yeah, no, it's interesting. I think those Rovers. So this thing we say Rovers are second worst. Like Connor Malley, Enda Stevens, Jake Mulroney. Like that's not bad business. Like if any other team in the league did that business, you'd be saying fair play to them.
would I?
I suppose Rovers have their own standard. That's maybe why you're saying that.
Connor Malley's not going to play much. Enda Stevens might not play that much, and Mulroney is a massive flip of the coin.
Yeah,
To be fair,
yeah. Mulroney, potentially Jake Mulroney could be the difference between winning you the league and not winning you the league. Like
yeah,
if he flops, we've no Josh Honan replacement, or we do and the Stevens. But if he does well, you're like, oh my god, you know.
yeah, it's a big flip. Like you have to admit,
Him
like
and Jack Byrne, it
massive.
really like you can
Yeah,
honestly look back at next season with all these players we have and say, Jesus, we got Europa League group stages and won another double. Or you could say, oh my god, they
oh,
killed each other, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Like that
Yeah,
has an opportunity. It has the potential to be a little bit toxic at times with those kind of characters in there. But I think if there's any manager that can make it work, it is Bradley. In fairness,
yeah.
biggest winner for me, I would say, is probably have Drogheda up there. Would you? Raja,
Yeah,
Kavanagh, O'Brien, Doyle, solid.
yeah, it is. So I just think a midfield they're missing something. Like I thought Nugent would have been perfect for them. I'm
Yeah,
just yeah,
would have been, yeah.
I don't
Mark
know.
Coyle even.
Yeah, because Mark Cole's gone to Coleraine now, so they don't really have that central midfielder. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, they are up there. They're definitely like top two. I don't know. I'm really impressed with Derry. I just
Very
like I
solid.
know but we were slating them last year for the signs. But look at this year, like it's been really good. Like the bro James Clark was just like what? Like we were all shocked when we saw that, and yeah, like a few other ones that they're going to be coming through, are decent for Derry. So like yeah, I'd probably say as of right now Derry. Like, I think as a Rovers fan, I think Derry are probably the closest to us at the moment, and then potentially. Depending on what Shells do. Shells sign 3 or 4 players and get Whistle Spiel, sign him an Oran Casey, and then get just say Pod Hammond. I think then it'll be Shells and Rovers. But as of right now, I think Derry are probably just that bit ahead depth wise.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that. I think
The
I
league table doesn't lie. They finished
oh
second
no,
last
fair
year.
enough, fair enough. But I think the league table from when Joey O'Brien took over doesn't lie either, and we're top of that. So um,
Where's your trophy for that?
we're just spitballing here. We're just
Where's the
spitballing
Joey
here.
O'Brien Cup?
We're
Let
just
FAI, are you watching? We need a
we're just
Joey
spitballing.
O'Brien
We're just,
Cup.
we're just spitballing here. I just don't think there's too many midfields in the league that are going to be better than
No,
ours.
no, no. There's no two ways about it, and it's probably the same argument we have with Bows though. Like, yeah, you Henry Francis could be PFA Player of the Year next season. Kerr McElroy, beautiful. Harry
You
Wood,
kind of
unbelievable.
forget about them nearly, like
You
because
you do.
you
Their age profile is perfect as well. They're all kind of in that
yeah,
mid
they're
to
all like it's not a new shiny toy, but they're in the dressing room. They've got that bit of bed.
yeah
They've been in already. They've been there
yeah.
6 months.
I, I'm just worried about the two things in football: putting the ball in the net and keeping it out of the other net. And I look at your strikers and your the centre half, and I go, that's a problem, you
Yeah,
know. So I think that's a huge. I think Shells. I think probably as of right now, Shell's probably have the most work to do in the transfer market out of all the teams. But
Really?
Galway, obviously Galway.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like from a starting 11 perspective, I think Shells need at least three more starters.
Yeah. Shells have the most players signed up for next season, according to this thing I'm looking at. 21
Really?
players. Yeah, 21 players signed up.
Yeah.
But there's a couple.
In theory, you need a 24, 25 man squad anyways. So
Yeah,
like, you know.
Rovers have what? Rovers have 20. Yeah.
Well, we've more. I'm not sure the accuracy
Yeah.
of that. Like they
Kovalevskis
keep
isn't
it.
on this or anything, so all those guys.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we've the guts of like 20. I think it's more the case of us getting lads off the books like Trevor Clark, Gary O'Neill, Aaron Green.
yeah.
Like we've like the guts of like 25, 26, I'd say signed up.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, Shells have work to do. Keeper and centre half, at least one. You need two. But
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I in
Yeah.
Meepo trust. I think Meepo season will be
I
a
know I can
big
I
factor.
agree.
Like that kind
I
of
agree with you.
our season could just that he'll define our season. How he performs could define our season.
Yeah. No, I agree. To be fair, you made a great point, and I do agree with you. But I just think it's a bit of a shot in the. It's like Jake Moraine is a shot in the dark,
Mm.
whereas you can get Paul Hammond in, and you just know he'll do a job for you, like you know.
Yeah,
But there we have it, guys. There's our episode 6 of the League of Ireland transfer show. Probably our longest video yet, but you know
Jesus,
we've
yeah.
starved you for a while, so we said we'd look after you. But look, leave in your comments. As I said, a few of these deals will probably have gone through by the time it comes out. That's okay, but let us know if you know any new rumors, if you've heard anything, or even a shot in the dark. Like if you think something would make sense somewhere, let us know too. And First Division users as well, let us know also because we like to keep up to date with that as well. But yeah, 100 likes. Let's try hit it. Let's try do the big one. And for the new year that's in it, and 4,000 subs as well. And on Spotify, leave us a review also. So yeah, Ross, pleasure as always.
Thanks, Billy Luke. Nice one, guys. Thanks for tuning in.